Hi YouTube, we are here today with an unboxing for you. This is the first part, so we're going to use for the receiver. Lemon RX, 7-channel with stabilization. Rather than a diversity antenna, this has a satellite. I didn't buy this, I got this from a friend. I usually just buy the diversity antennas. Because I don't like having a second accessory. But having a satellite antenna is nice sometimes in certain applications. And just want to show you the box. You're going to know what it is by the title, but if you want to try to guess, I'm excited about it. We're going to cut it open. What do we have here? It's an FMS MOA. Look at that. 1500 millimeter. That's very interesting. Just checking the packing list. We also have a couple of batteries in here too. I'm going to try some Admiral 1300 milliamp 2S and 1300 milliamp 3S. So we'll see how that goes. So far so good. This came, I ordered it on Saturday. Late in the evening, like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And what is this? Look at that. These guys put another awesome picture on there, making me want that too. How did you guys do that? That does look pretty nice. I'm actually kind of excited about that. Cool. Well, anyway, so the MOA today, it's 1500 millimeters wide. 855 millimeters long. It's got a goal, so the wings go out and then they go up and out. And so we're going to see what this thing looks like. Let's open it up. Box looks to be in perfect shape. What is this on here for? I don't understand that, guys. Look at this. It's a different glider. Like, why do they have that on here? Do they use the same box for both of these, or does this come with 2 planes? I'm so confused.
I'm gonna guess not that.
Like, I mean, I have to assume that it's not both planes. That would be totally awesome if it was both planes. That would, like, make my day. But, I'm a little bit confused. I'm kind of hoping it's not the wrong one. Like, variety pack. Which way does this go? Oh, there we go. So, that looks like a pretty cool plane, though, so I may have to buy that one, too.
Gee, thanks, FMS.
Yeah. FMS. You're my best new friend. Okay. Alright, guys. Looks very well packed. Clearly it is not both planes. Unless it's a very small second plane. We're just gonna cut these things. Take them out. Always hang on to this stuff until I know that the plane is not totally destroyed. In the event that I would have to, unfortunately, I would ship one back. So far it looks like it's in good shape. It's got good strike pads for the wings over here, which is kind of cool. With that really steep goal shape on it, that might come in kind of handy. But it doesn't want to come out very well. I may come back to that corner. Looks like we've got a steel rod here. It's got some dihedral in it. And the dihedral would be for, obviously, for getting that goal shape. So you can see up against the counter. Wow, that's kind of almost flexible. So that could be a good or a bad thing. I'm a little nervous about this. I might try to get the first wing out. Ooh, that is pretty. And you can see there how that's going to go. It's got this angle to it. Work the control surfaces as you take them out if you think about it. Nice FMS servos. Let me give them a close look at that. That'd be good. Got some instructions here. FMS 1500 millimeter MOA operating manual. Oh, there's an ESC manual in here, guys. Look at that. So you can turn on the braking and all that. That's pretty nice, I bet. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to talk about programming. Oh yeah, look at that. There's the programming. Tells you how to turn on and off the programming. So I'll probably have video on there. If I need to turn on braking, if it's not already on it by default, then I'll do a video that shows you how to do that. In case you've already lost your manual. Of course, you can get it at motionrc.com if you bought this at, FMS sells at a couple of different sites, but Motion RC, I'd highly recommend Motion RC. They're a very good company to work with. Boy, this thing is packed in here a little bit strange. You see this?
Oh, it moves.
Show them this. See this? This whole assembly goes up and down, and then the wings slide out. That is very different. Never seen something like that. I like the decals are very nice looking. And then see this, guys? Oh man, that thing is screaming for some LEDs in it. This is actually a strike pad because this plane almost always likes to hit the wings on the ground. Those don't even really need to be worked. It's kind of crazy. And of course they've got channel 1 and it says aileron channel 1 on this side too. So in my case, I'm going to run this as flaperons. And if there's even a thought of needing flaps, I'm going to put flaps in this plane. But for now, oh, and you can see there's a carbon spar.
Yeah, you
let's
can.
hold it up against the light here and see if they can see it.
Yep.
There's a pretty good carbon spar right here, a big strong one, and then it looks like probably a synthetic wood sort of piece here. It's not as dark. I give you a better view of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they get that shape. I mean, they're not going to be doing both bends. Nice big piece of thick foam here. I want you to try to shoot down in the box here so you can see how this sits. Well, I'll tell you what, the pictures online of this plane make it seem kind of not really that striking. And it looks pretty nice, actually. I'm really happy about it so far. The spinner is a little bit hokey. The plastic doesn't quite match the red paint. But you know what? That's not that big a deal. Looks like I like the shape. I like the aggressive pitch on the prop. And I like the way that it folds back. But to be honest with you, I'm sort of tempted to paint it red. I normally don't like colored props, but in this case, I don't want the prop to exist. I want it to look like a pure glider, even though it's not a pure glider. Canopy has a big magnet on it. Looks like the magnet's going to sit up on top of the wings. And then in real life, of course, this would be all canopy. And the canopy on some of these went way back. And looks like it's going to be a little tight in there. That is going to be challenging to fit everything in. And see the two servos up here. And of course, we can get kind of a look down into the brushless motor. There's a set screw access here. Very big cooling inlet. That's cool. And then got all the servo leads here. I may actually pull all the servo leads back there and actually try to put the receiver in here. If you're using a stabilization receiver like this, you're supposed to have it pointed with that to the tail, with the pins to the tail, excuse me. And there is a way, if you rotate your channels, you can put it vertical, you can put it upside down, whatever you want. But you have to flip the direction of the dip switches so that it responds the correct way when you're flying it. And then also you have to change your channel assignment if you have assignable channels like on the DX18 that I use. So I can show you how to do that if we end up mounting that sideways. Because I'm assuming I'm going to need the battery up in here. I think they recommend... Oh, look at that tire. Nice little tire. Doesn't seem like anything too special. I've also heard that this strike pad, well, I can just tell, this has hard plastic over it. Or is that plastic? Might just be like a thick paint.
Looks
No,
different.
it's plastic.
Yeah.
It's glued on. Oh, and then, of course, the rudder. Looks like we've got reasonable size rudder. I'd like to see that rudder even bigger, but that's okay. We'll see how it flies first. Like I said, we'll do flaperon configuration, so we can do spoilers with just the regular ailerons. And then later on, if we want to add flaps, we can supplement that. We can do crow even with this plane, which is pretty cool, because the real big ones, which is part of the surprise on this plane. I might leave you guys hanging for just a little bit because there's still a little bit of uncertainty, but This plane might have a big brother coming, like 5 times as big. But either way, we'll wait and see on that. Horizontal stabilizer and elevator. Nice size elevator. About the same size. Let's see how the spar looks in this one. Plastic doesn't quite match. Not crazy about that. Got a nice sized reinforcement in there. Feels pretty sturdy. The fuse, incidentally, now that I sit and think about it, it's a 2-piece. Just a very limited amount of flex in there. It's actually really sturdy. Like normally with, I mean, you got to think this is not super long, so how are you going to get that much leverage on it? You're just going to move the plane. It's very light, which is great, of course, for a glider. And don't worry, guys, this is going to be on the slope with us. We're going to take it slope soaring. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Okay, so what else do we have in here, guys? Oh, you see this paper? This must be where they stuck my batteries. That does not look like factory packaging. So I'm assuming they stuck the batteries. I ordered 2 Admiral batteries. It looks like this comes with the kit. A Y splitter for channel 1 for the ailerons. Of course, we're not going to be using the splitter because we're going to use independent channels for left and right aileron. Then it looks like this is the Admiral battery. I ordered this separate. It did not come with the plane. This is a 1300 milliamp 2S 30C. Looks really nice. Feels super sturdy. It's a little bit more expensive than what I normally buy at Hobby King, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see if this is worth it. And the reason I'm going with this is because I normally fly 2S 1300 milliamp packs that come from E-flite. Look at the difference spatially, guys. This is what happens with E-flite packs. And I'm not pushing these too crazy hard. Mostly in gliders. So I'm hoping that this is not going to puff. And this is a 20C pack. This is a 30C pack. But I've heard that Admiral is very good about not overrating their packs. How that goes. And then, of course, it looks like we've got the magnetic hatch closure, which is incidentally what's used to hold the wing on the front of the surface. And then way down in here, looks like another pack. This must be the 3S Admiral battery pack. I like the packaging, simple. Do not pull. Do not pull. Okay, all right, pulling. And then look at that, guys. They have these quick detach connectors, which are supposed to help for the balance charge plug. So when you unplug it, it looks like they put glue on there. I am not a fan of that part so far. I mean, you could rip this off easily. But XT60 ends are what I use, which is nice. It comes with an XT60 end. Now, I noticed that this has GST, and that concludes the pieces that are inside the box here, guys. But just to make sure we're totally clear, this plane has GST plugs, which I guess I didn't realize that. Not that it matters. But I don't want GST ends on these. I'm going to use these in my Consendo and a variety of other planes. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to get them charged up and ready to rock. Very good packaging. Very impressive packaging. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and conclude this. I might give you just a dry fit of the wings because it's such a strange shape. If you haven't ever seen the MOA, you may not know what you're looking for. Of course, you're going to see a picture in the video, but the thumbnail. Ooh, I wanted to show you something too. This decal is very thick and very nice quality decals. I noticed that it's catching. I don't like that. That could potentially blow up, and especially after some flights. It's too bad that didn't get wrapped around the leading edge. That'd be nice for strength. But visibility is going to be nice there. On the bottom side, it's going to be a lot harder to see. The problem is this plane is white on the bottom. So I'm probably going to want to take and do a little bit of color. You can kind of see how those contours come together. That's the shape it's going to be. It's called Gull, like G-U-L-L, Gull. And you can see this rod goes in between them. And that pushes, it's got a little bit of pressure fit to it. And then the second one, it's going to be the same scenario. Of course, you want to try to keep it square if you can, but that would be incorrect. How the heck am I going to get that thing to spin in there? That's kind of awkward. I'm going to try to spin it. Okay, there we go. I got it to spin finally. So once you get it spun correct, then you just kind of sandwich the parts together, and you can see you get that goal in there. And to be honest, I really like it. It's a good amount. The plane really does look a little bit like a seagull when it's flying, in my opinion. And we'll just stick this in here and just, like I said, dry fit it. You guys get an idea of how this thing's gonna look. I can already tell this plane is gonna be a decent plane. It's gonna be a good plane. If I like it, I'll have LEDs on it so that I can see it well when I'm flying. And that'll help a lot with evening flights and, you know, twilight flights. It's not necessarily gonna be, I've gotta get my servo cables out. So for now, this is probably about as close as you're gonna get on the profile. You can see this would be flat, but I really like the shape of that. That's cool. So guys, we're gonna get a build video done, and if you want to follow along, great. If not, just skip ahead to the flight videos. We're gonna try to get a flight video tomorrow if weather cooperates, and this will just be an initial flight video. We'll probably have flaperons, but there'll be more to come, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe,